Hello everyone, I am Swan and welcome to my channel. I am going to make a series of videos about JavaScript. The first video will be variables. What is the difference between var, let and const. Also we're going to touch a little bit hoisting and the JavaScript scope. Let's get started. What are variables? So let's see. Variables are containers for storing data values. Also, variables may hold values that have different data types, like string, number, boolean, which is true or false, array, or object. So 4 ways to declare a JavaScript variable: using var, let, const, or nothing. Let's set up our environment. So for coding, I'm using Visual Studio Code. And on the right side, I already said I have my Chrome. Let's create a file, index.html. I use emmet, and you can press exclamation mark and press tab, and you have your boilerplate. Now, let's change the title to variables. And let's give a h1 as hello from index.html. To see this, I connect this with the live server, and I can open in the local host 5500, and there you go. Now to connect, because I want to use some JavaScript, let's create another file. I call this up.js, and here console.log from up.js connected. Okay, there is nothing happened yet, because first we need to connect. We need a script tag, script source up.js. Now we should see, if you right click and you go to inspect and click on console, now we can see from up.js connected. Now we can change this whatever we want. Hello, and that should get changed automatically. Yes, there you go. Takes a little bit time. Okay, now let's see, delete this. So let's see how to declare a variable. You start by declaring a variable with the var keyword, then followed by the name you give to the variables. This could be nearly anything, but there are some restrictions. Let's give a try. So var x equal to 5. This syntax can be used to declare both local and global variables depending on the execution context. Now, if I declare var y equal to 6. Now we declared here two different variables, which is x as the name and the 5 is the value. And we can do is var z equal to x plus y console.log z. Now let's see what we get. Refresh, and we got 11. This is one way how you can declare variables. Let's comment this out, and you can declare variables like x equal to 5 or y equal to 6. In this example, x, y are undeclared variables. So if I say z equal to x plus y, we should get the same thing. Z. Yes, it's 11. Let's talk about let. Variables defined with let cannot be redeclared. Variables defined with let must be declared before use, and variables defined with let have a block scope. The main difference is scoping rules. Variables declared by var keyword are scoped to the immediate function, which is function scope, while let variables are scoped to the immediate enclosing block, which is a block scope. Now, what is scoping? Scope determines the accessibility or visibility of a variables. JavaScript has 3 types of scope: block scope, function scope, or global scope. Let's have an example. Let's comment this out, save it, and just want to leave in the top word connected. And we know always should be there. Now, I want to create a function named color. And in this function, I want to declare 2 variables, one with var and one with let. So let's say var dark equal to, let's say, a dark color, a dark magenta. Then let light, I want a light color now, call this snow. And I want a console.log dark and light. And in the end, I should evoke the function. Yes, connected, dark, magenta, and snow. This is what we was expecting. Now, this function, this is the function scope. Let's see if I make a block inside in a function, and let me declare a dog, which is make woof, and let's say a cat, which is make meow. And let's console.log dog and cat. Woof and meow, we got both. But what about if we wanted to access outside of the block scope? So if I wanted to console.log dog first, can we do that? Yes, we got 2 woof. And what about if I want to console.log cat? Now we have a reference error. Cat is not defined. So why variables declared with var keyword are hoisted, which is initialized with undefined before the code is run, which means they are accessible in their enclosing scope even before they are declared. Now what happened here is, because let is a block scope, so let you have access only in this scope. This is a block scope. Because var is a function scope or window scope, then var is get hoisted to the top and you can have access everywhere here. So if you are console.log the dog, you can have access here, but not the cat, because this is let. Why variables declared with var keyword are hoisted? So in this situation, dog is get hoisted. So basically dog get hoisted in the top of the function, because var keyword is its function scope. So like how you can imagine, if you take this out, and you can do the same things if you put here, it's the same thing. So the var the var keyword is get hoisted to the top of the stack, and you have access outside of the block scope. So this is what happened physically. Now let's put this back. Now, what is hoisting? Hoisting is a JavaScript default behavior of moving all declaration to the top of the current scope. So where is the current scope now? The current scope is the function scope. So var is get hoisted to the top of the current scope, and let is get hoisted to the top of the current scope. Because var is it function scoped and let is a block scope. Let you have only you can access only in this brackets. While variables declared with var keywords are hoisted, initialized with undefined before the code is run, which means they are accessible in their enclosing scope even before they are declared. Let's have a look at this. Let me close this off, save it, no more error. And let's create a function called run. And in this function, I wanted to create a variables with var equal, let's give a name choose, and should be red. And what I wanted to do is give a console.log to shoes and give a console.log after the shoes. Let's see what is happening. Oh yes, I need to evoke the run function. Okay, now this is what happened. So variables declared with the y keyword are hoisted, but initialized with undefined before the code is run. So basically, this code wasn't run yet, but because it's get hoisted, is moved to the top and get undefined. And this is when we console.logging the shows here, we got undefined. And when we console.log after, when the variables we give a value, then we have the value. Now, what is undefined? Undefined property indicates that the variables has not been assigned to a value or not declared at all. Now, let variables are not initialized until the definition is evaluated. Accessing them before the initialization results in a reference error. So if we do this opposite and let's change it to let, what do we get? Exactly, we get the reference error because what happened? Accessing them before initialization results in a reference error. The variables is said to be in temporal dead zone from the start of the block until the initialization is processed. Now, let's comment this out. Add the difference between var and let. In strict mode, var will let you redeclare the same variables in the same scope, while let raises a syntax error. Now, let's give a try. So, var color equals to red, then console.log color, and we should have a color red. Yes, but if I say var color equal to blue, what do we get? Yes, that's correct. We got a blue because var can be redeclared. Now, in the same things, if we're doing this with let, let's change this to let color, I delete this, let color include equal to red. Yeah, we got red. And let's see, let color equal to blue. Yes. And we have a syntax error. Color has already been declared, so we cannot redeclare let. So let's give another try. At the top level, let, unlike var, does not create a property on the global object. Let's give a try for this. Let's create a variable var foo equals to foo, and let bar equals to bar. Now the var variables is globally scoped, with let not allowed to be globally scoped. So let me try out. We can have access to the window of object, and if I type in window.foo, then we can see the variables foo is foo. If I want to do the same things with window.bar, what do we get? Undefined, because var is not allowed to be globally scoped, and var is globally scoped. Let is just only block scoped. What about const? Variables defined with const cannot be redeclared. So we can redeclare with var, we cannot redeclare with let, and we cannot redeclare with const. Also, variables defined with const cannot be reassigned. Variables defined with const have block scope, the same with let. So var is function or window global scoped, and let and const is block scoped. Now let's give a try. Comment this out. Const p equal to 3.14159. Do the rest. What about if I want to console.log p? Yes, we got the number. But if I wanted to reassign to a new value, let's do 3414, what do we get? Yes, we cannot do assignment to a constant variable, so constant value has to be the same. So when to use JavaScript const? As a general rule, always declare variables with const unless you know that the value will change. Use const when you declare an array, an object, a function, or a regular expression. The keyword const is a little misleading. It does not define a constant value, it defines a constant reference to a value. Because of this, you cannot reassign a constant value, reassign a constant array, or reassign a constant object. But you can change the element of a constant array or change the properties of a constant object. So let's give a try with const cars equal to sab Volvo, Mercedes. If you wanted to change like cars equals to a new array, you cannot do that. So that will be a that will be a assignment error. But you can do this, cars 0 equals to Toyota, and console.log cars. Yes, So we got the array, which is changed, Toyota and Volvo. Now, if I do a console.log here, we can see the original array. So this is the original array, and this is the modified array. So you're not allowed to reassign a const value, but you are able to change the element or the properties. Also, you can do cars push Audi. And console.log cars. Yes, we have the original array, the modified array. So we modified the element, one element, the first one, and now we added one element to the end. So this could be a misleading. And always, if you can use const for array, a new object, a new function, or for a new regular expression. Let me know how did you like the video. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you and bye.